so we are going to walk through how I mount the wire frame and the trays onto the 2x4s. So a lot of the effort and the setup is initially just making sure everything is even and level before you start to drill and put everything together. And so with the 2 pieces of wood, you want to kind of go slow and make sure everything looks good before you get started. So the way that I approached this is I wanted to set it at a height that was convenient for me, and so I ended up measuring 12 inches down from the top of each piece of wood, so it was at the same height on both pieces. And for me, that meant that I can reach up and get the top tray. I can also easily reach the bottom tray. And what's nice about this system is that it takes a lot of the bending and hard work out of gardening, so I measured it to my height to make it the most comfortable for me. So I wanted it to be even on the top, so I measured that first, and then I also measured the template for the cleats or the brackets to make sure that they were centered in each piece of lumber. So on all 4, I measured to make sure it was 2 inches in, 2 inches all the way around. Once I had measured that and taped it, I also marked it with pencil just in case I needed to fiddle around or change it. I wanted to make sure I knew where my template should lay. And then once I had that all measured out, we're going to go ahead and check with the level to make sure that it looks good. Okay, so I'm measuring the level up here. It looks okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the next step, and you can also follow along, I highly suggest taking a look at the YouTube videos on the Varden YouTube channel. They're going to take you through the mounting process in a lot of detail. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. I also highly suggest you check that out. So the next step here is to drill guide holes into your template, and that's going to help you place the cleats after you've removed the template. So all I did here was just a quick come around. Just like that, and I already have done that for all of the cleats around the template. So we can go ahead now and remove the tape without moving my pieces of wood. All right, and so I'm going to position my first cleat and then kind of talk you through that as we go. So again, I've got my 2 guide holes here. I personally used the template for the flange in construction, so this flange is facing in, and this hook here is where the wire frame is going to sit. So I wanted to make sure that that's kind of close to center for support for the hook. So I'll go ahead and drill all 4 of these cleats in loosely, and then we'll come back and we'll mount the wire frame. So I've mounted the 4 cleats, and at first I just drilled in the screws loosely so that there was a little bit of give on the cleats, and then you mount the wire panel onto the cleats so that they sit, the horizontal bar sits in the hooks here, and then I am going to measure that it's level again just to make sure. So I use my level here. Okay, and once I have the level there, I can go ahead and tighten the screws on the cleats, which I have done on all 3 brackets. I'll do here as well. Okay, so now that everything is anchored onto my 2x4s, I can set the trays onto the panel. And there are 2 parts to the trays. There's feet here and then the hooks on the top. So I have found that it's easiest to start by setting the feet on the bottom wire and then hooking the top panels to set them in like that. And it sits right against the bracket there as well. So again, on this side, I'm going to set the feet on the panels where I want them, and then add my hooks. Okay, get everything to snap on. There. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the trays.
My time, never asking why. I'm always in a million places at once. I've never had enough to let you add your thoughts.